This is how you can get more clients through your website for your home cleaning business. This is actually part 3 of the series, which will talk about the conversion part of things. So the first 2 talk about the traffic, getting the traffic, because how can you actually get your visitors to convert if you don't have the visitors? I don't know why I'm using air quotes, but traffic is absolutely important first. Next is to build trust, which is also technically part of a conversion, of the conversion that we'll be talking about. Because one, you do have the traffic, but if they don't trust you immediately, then they will just leave and choose your competitors instead. We don't want that, right? Okay, let's begin. We'll be using this example or this business as an example. Messaging and offer above the fold CTA. Okay, so above the fold, just to explain if you don't know, so I didn't really know about this before I did web design, but above the fold is basically like anything that is before the section where your website, or the section of your website before you actually scroll. It is this part here. So anything below that is below the fold, hence the name above the fold. No, actually, above the fold was from a newspaper, but neither here nor there. So anyway, it should be immediate and obvious, which is here. Call us, write to us, get a quote. And then for a mobile, it's also there. That's good. It's immediate. See. Problem plus solution explains what the issue they solve and outcome they deliver. Yes and no, where quality meets affordability. Usually the problem for people, for instance, if I'm looking for a cleaning company to do all the cleaning, that would usually mean that I don't have time to clean my house, or I just really don't want it. Honestly, I hate cleaning. I like to keep things clean, but I hate cleaning. So at least that's like one of the problems you can talk about in the above the fold, but it's not here. And then solution is technically the cleaning itself, right? But it's also it's quite vague here. So I guess the outcome could be something like save time by hiring affordable cleaning company you can trust, something like that. So you have the affordability, which I would assume is one of your USP or unique selling proposition. And then again, the issue is saving time. I think that's like the biggest thing when it comes to cleaning with. So you can do that with your headline or supporting text. Now here's the thing. I don't have any example right away, but you can technically use GPT to write the copy for you. So to make sure that the messaging and the offer is absolutely clear. So it's actually high converting. So for the unique value, we need a clear reason to choose them over your competitors. So in this case, it would be the affordability. So ideally, you can emphasize the affordability a lot more in this copy, like affordable cleaning company in Calgary, something like that. Is this it in Calgary or Edmonton? Sorry, Edmonton. Another example is the 100% satisfaction guarantee, which is absolutely common, but it's quite good for a cleaning company. Because one, if you can actually guarantee that they'll be satisfied with your services, then obviously they will more likely choose you over your competitors. Now, by guarantee, that would mean that if they're not satisfied with your service, that you'll have a 100% money back guarantee. Something like that, right? But yeah, I understand the cons behind a guarantee, but I bet you'll get a lot more clients by having that actual unique value. Next is the copy. It should be action oriented. So it's call, so that's a verb, right? That's a verb. Get, that's also a verb. So that's action oriented, so that's good. And it is quite specific. Oh, it's not in my notes. It's not specific to get a quote. Now, here's the thing here. I did not write this here. But the CTA copy, apart from the CTA copy, is the number of CTA you actually have for your homepage or the above the fold. In this case, you have one. No, let's not include this. 1, 2, 3, which is not good. I mean, sure, they all have the same purpose, which is to call you, but this is quite redundant now. And there's no clear hierarchy which one is the most important button for them to click. And I would assume it has to be like the get a quote one. So ideally, this one should have that highlight color, and the rest should be like a secondary button where it's not super highlighted compared to this. And write to us doesn't really, this is quite weak. It would be better to have get a quote as the primary button or the main call to action. And then the secondary is call as us, right? So at least both have the same purpose and it's not too confusing. Because in marketing, there's this thing called analysis paralysis. Basically, if you give them too many options, in this case, you have 3, they're actually more likely to choose none. Like there's a lot of data or study to back that up. So yeah, just make sure that it's really, really easy for them to book a service with you. In this case, get a quote. And another tip for your copy or CTA copy, you can talk in first person and then add a bit of a sense of urgency. So in that case, you can write, get my quote now. So my is the first person, and then now is a bit of a sense of urgency, so they can get a quote immediately or get my quote today, something like that. But unfortunately here it's not good. CDA design, high contrast color, and repeated in logical spots. Here, honestly, it doesn't pop out of the background. If anything, this is actually this award here attracts my attention more than the rest here. Again, it's not good because the button or the main call to action should be the main focus of the above the fold or your overall website design. And in this case, it's getting overshadowed by this award, which is technically a good thing showing this award, because it means that you're trustworthy immediately, which is, if you watch my other video, it's a trust factor, so it's good that it's here, but it's too big that it steals attention from the main call to action. And then honestly, I will use a different color, perhaps this. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. We already covered that, but it's actually not. Logical sequence, awareness, benefits, proof, and CTA. So awareness basically talks about the hero section part here, meaning they need to know whether you're the right business for them. And then again, the button's goals is for the button's goal is to get them to book a service with you. So for the more impulsive type buyers, but for the more logical type buyers, they would likely scroll down. So they need to know the benefits of your services. In this case, this business talked more about the, oh, that's wrong spelling, sorry. Talked more about their specific services, which is not bad. But in this case, it should say something like peace of mind. Because that means you don't have to worry about cleaning yourself because you already have someone trustworthy and that can clean for you. Another one is save time. So those are like the benefits. For the benefits, it's more about the emotion that they'll feel once they book your service or once you handle the cleaning for them. So you can talk about that here. And then proof is the social proof. So ideally you should talk about or you should show all these testimonials which you have here, so that's good. And it's like right on top. I mean, it's not way at the bottom, so that's good. So yeah, ideally you follow slightly about this sequence, and then you should still have that CTA. That's not the CTA. Yeah, you have another CTA here, which is good because you should have the main call to action again sprinkled all around your page. So after saying this shiny happy clients, you should also still have that main call to action. And then at the bottom, before the footer, you should also have another call to action. But in here, they did not have that. So make sure that it's basically sprinkled around because in a way that you don't have to scroll back up. So yeah, basically make it easy for them to book a service with you. That's the goal. From simplicity, let's see, get a quote. Wow, this is quite complicated. Okay, I understand why it's like this because I guess it would automate the quote part so you don't have to manually give them a quote. Like I understand that, but here's the thing. This is like a double-edged sword, if you ask me. Because one, ideally, any form should be like really, really simple for them to book and from start to finish. But in this case, this is quite complicated and basically has more friction. And the more friction that you have in your forms, the more likely they'll just abandon the form and go to a different place. But the other thing that this may be a good thing is if you already have a lot of calls or inquiries with regards to the quote itself, and you want to save time and you don't really have someone to manually get that quote or manually create those quotes for you. So yeah, that's just something you have to choose whether to get more inquiries or just automate things to save time and you don't have to hire someone to be able to handle that. But honestly, if you ask me, it should be a lot simpler than this. So the name, email, phone number, full name is not even that necessary here. And then for the address, this is also not necessary in the first part at least. But I understand that if it's a drive, you also need to consider the gas, right? And then the date, yeah. One simple way actually to make this a lot simpler is to cut it into separate steps. So it will have that illusion that it's a lot simpler by having multi-step form compared to this really long one. But yeah, hero image visual conversion cues, let's talk about that. Here it's not hero image or video, so I talked about this before, but the main or the best hero image for your website, for your home cleaning website, is a before and after, a clear before and after, which is not here. But this is, I would assume, the result, because it's clean, all white, all that stuff, which is technically okay, but it's a lot more powerful if you can show the before and after in the hero section or the hero image. Oops. Social proof near CTA. So what I mean by that is this, because they don't have it, you might not have it. I actually don't see this as often, but for instance, this is my main CTA, and then this is the social proof, mini social proof, before I even get to scroll. So ideally you can also show a mini social proof before they scroll and as close to the main button as possible. Distraction free. So by distraction free, that they're doing good here. An example that I've seen so many times is that overly animated websites. So a carousel, for instance, or a slider here in the hero section or above the fold, it's not good. It actually destroys your conversion rate by a lot. So keep it simple. So don't have those animations. And then the video should not really autoplay as well if you have one. And then when they're contacting you, there should also be no pop-up. Like in the homepage, it's okay to have a pop-up, but not right away. There should be a bit of a delay. And they don't have that here, so that's good. They're distraction free. Mobile CTA. So this is what I meant before. By the button should immediately be visible when you're on mobile. Because if it's not visible and they have to scroll, again, that's another extra friction which we don't want. Because the more friction you have, the more likely they're to bounce or to basically just abandon your website and choose your competitor, which we don't really want, right? Okay, so there's that. This is good. So yeah, those are the three main things to consider with regards to your website to actually get those clients through your website. So, because again, I keep saying again, because a website is supposed to bring you clients, not just there to show information. Like, that's one part of it. But the main thing is that your home cleaning website should have or should be generating those leads or getting those paying clients. So once you do all that, hopefully, or you can get a lot more bookings through your website. So basically your website will then be working for you instead of against you, or just they're costing money. If you want your website to also be reviewed so you can get more conversions through your website, make sure to click the link below, because I do offer a free web audit for any business, or for at least for the service-based businesses, and it's absolutely free. I'll talk about the traffic, trust, and conversion factors, and then how you can fix them yourself. So yeah, talk soon.